Hello, my society. My name's Clay Shirky, and I'm here to tell you what to do. No, actually, this is Danny O'Brien, and Tom asked me to do a tight 5 minutes on ideas I might have about what you guys should do. So that's pretty much the same thing. Well, I guess I'll probably use one of my rhetorical cheats here. My usual one when I'm talking to smart geeks is the Howl quote. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by dollar thing that people find are important. So you can use that about Lisp. I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by Lisp, destroyed by artificial intelligence projects, the semantic web, Frogger, and people respect you for using a popular poem. So in this case, what I'll say is that I saw the best minds of my generation destroyed by open government transparency projects. We've sort of won, right? Open data transparency as a principle has been sort of pretty much accepted by the incoming governments on both sides of the Atlantic. They're willing to throw public money into those areas. The best and worst people of our generation are being now picked up by those governments to work in those projects. This is great. It also means that this is really no longer an area where you can put in a small amount of volunteer investment and get a large result, because the low-hanging fruit we've kind of dealt with either ourselves, or they're now being swept up in the big combine harvesters of public sector projects, which means that, pulling out that data and managing that data might get a bit more boring and more sort of professionalized. And I think, if there's something that really destroys the best minds of any generation, it's boring, professional, carefully marked out projects. And it also removes some of the fun and the beneficial edges of being a smartly smart volunteer-run charity of super clever geeks. Okay, these are all things I'm sure you've all thought about. So here's what I think. Here's my suggestion in this area. When I was at EFF, one of the things we were just beginning to realize was that the US and the EU governments actually know quite a lot about other government activities, and vice versa. So we had the incredibly good EFF Freedom of Information team just beginning when I left, to investigate how to exploit this. Essentially use one nation's open data policies or privacy policies to help eke out information that we could learn about another nation's activity. I do think that this idea of using another nation's open data policies to eke out information about another countries is an important one. How can we use international institutions or foreign institutions to reveal more about ourselves and our own society? Now, my bias here is with international work. It's what I did at the EFF. It's what I do at the Committee to Protect Journalists now. So let me try and generalize this a bit. What other institutions, other than our own governments, can we scrape and exploit and plead with and otherwise sort of open up in a guerrilla way in order to shine a light on our own government, possibly, but also our own society? I learned a lot about the pros and cons of the NHS by watching the American healthcare debate, and in particular watching UK newspapers find that they could recharacterize issues about the NHS by covering and learning about what people were discussing in the American healthcare debate. As I said, I think that there's an opportunity to learn something about what the US does in surveillance by watching what happens in a country like Colombia. I learned a lot about the imminent problems of Western telecommunications companies and their monopoly strongholds by looking at what's happening in Kenya right now, something that me and Tom have talked about, I know. So I don't think there needs to be anything charitable about this. I don't think it's this idea of, spreading the good word of MySociety. I think it's a matter of understanding how we might plunder institutions that aren't our own local government, in the sense that local is our current country. Okay, that's my random hand waving. I hope you found it useful. Thank you for letting me blather. I hope you have a great open thing, and see you all soon. I really hope, because I miss you, darling.